Okay, and we are a go. This is episode 2. This is Just Your Average Joe and a Cup of Joe Unfiltered. I have a special guest again this time. This is Patrick Lennon, my coworker. I've known him for almost 10 years now, right?
Just about 10 years, yeah.
Yeah. First thing happened, I released my first episode. What was it? I think I did it on Saturday night. I uploaded it onto YouTube, and ever since then, I got the phone call from him, and he's like, "Yo, I'm hearing good things about the show, and you're getting pretty big." And I said, "Look, I know I got a lot of people lined up to come onto this show. Let me see if I can make some room for you." And I was able to squeeze him in tonight. So, Pat,
Yeah.
no, seriously, thank you for coming. All
Thank you for
joking
having
aside,
me.
thank you for coming. He really did call. He really did call me though, and he congratulated me about getting it up and getting the show up and running.
Correct, yeah.
Not about getting something else up. That's
I
another
actually
story.
commented Sunday morning, right when he posted the video.
Yes, and as I mentioned, I do work with him, and I have been out of work about 10 months now, almost 10 months, and honestly, he's the only one. You're the only one that I work with that's even called to see how I'm doing and just checking up on me on a regular basis. So again, I also appreciate that as well. So we got a couple of things we want to talk about tonight. I know you wrote down a few things. I just got a couple of, honestly, yeah, we do have a couple of things we're going to talk about, but I want to have fun. I'm glad you're here. He brought a bottle of wine. Cheers to that.
What's that?
Some nice,
episode together?
nice vino. And I just want to, get a topic, get a couple of topics going, but at the same time,
Throw
as
a
I
couple
said,
things out there.
stay open, stay loose, have fun. And that's what we do when we're at work or even when we're hanging out outside anyway.
Exactly.
So going on the top of your thing, you did say that you wanted to go over your top favorite actors of all time. And what would you say your top favorite actors of all time?
Start off, I would say my first favorite actor is probably Adam Sandler.
Okay. All right. What's your favorite Adam Sandler movie?
I'm going to have to go with Waterboy.
Waterboy's a good one.
That is a good one.
It's actually, I think that's, if it's not Big Daddy.
I was going to say
Big
second
Daddy
would be
for a
Big
while
Daddy,
was my favorite. Well, no, Big Daddy actually came out after. Big Daddy came out after Waterboy. Either way, it came out around the same time. I
Did
think
catch a lot of people, though, with Big Daddy, though. That was
no,
pretty
but
big.
Waterboy was hysterical. I saw that in the movie theaters. I'll never forget. I'm pretty sure they came out either 98 or 99. I'm pretty sure Waterboy was 98 and Big Daddy was 99. I could be off a year with both of them, but it might be 99 2000. Either way, Waterboy is hysterical. I mean, Billy Madison's a classic. You can't deny Billy
Can't go wrong
Madison.
with that.
I also saw that in the movie theater. But I do want to see Uncut Gems. That's I believe it is out in theaters, but it comes out on I don't know if it's being
Pretty soon, actually. I think.
no, it's the end of the month, but I just don't know if it's going straight to Netflix. It's
Or
like
maybe
doing
being premiered in certain theaters.
no, it's already premiered. It's already out in theaters. I just don't know if it's going to Netflix like The Irishman did, where it went in theaters for like a couple of weeks, and then at the end of the month it went into Netflix, or it's gonna get go to digital.
Okay.
But yeah, so that is coming out at
That
the
did
end of
look
the year.
good, though.
At the end of the month, I'm sorry. What's your next?
Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington's a great choice, a really good choice. I mean, I don't think the guy does a bad movie.
No.
I haven't seen all his movies, but I have seen the majority of them. What would be your favorite?
Now I'm just trying to think of the movie with the gang. What was it?
American Gangster.
American Gangster.
Is that
The
it?
top?
That's the one.
Yeah.
I think my favorite with
That was
him.
my favorite out of all time, I think.
I mean, he is. Oh God, honestly, I'm drawing a blank with his other ones, but my favorite from him has to be the one where he's.
Was he also in Out of Time?
I don't think he's in Out of Time. Which is the number? I think it's called Flight, where he's the captain.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, when he was the pilot.
He does like this insane maneuver where they fly upside down, and it's the only way
Yeah.
in his mind that they can actually safely land. And then obviously he has to go on trial. They find out that he had alcohol in his system, but
And he
it was,
actually admitted, I think. At the
yeah,
end, so.
but it was a really really good movie.
No, he
That's
was a good
probably
actor.
all right. What's your next
Other
one?
My other one is Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks probably won.
Made a great performance Sunday. He was on Sunday Night TV with the Oscars, right?
Right. Yeah. No. One of the best.
And he just did Mr. Rogers.
I haven't seen A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood
I
yet.
haven't yet seen it, but I do want to see
When
it.
I saw the trailer, I'm not gonna lie, I teared up a little bit. I don't even know why. There was really nothing about the trailer that
But he
like,
does fit the character very well.
he does do a really good job.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks is definitely one of my favorite actors of my generation. You know, you got Big, you got Sleepless in Seattle, You've Got Mail. I think You've Got Mail is probably one of my favorites. Captain
Castaway.
Castaway, but he's also in the other movie where he's the captain of the
Forrest
ship.
Gump.
Forrest Gump. Yeah,
It's a legend movie. Yeah.
really, really good.
Yeah.
Probably one of his best.
Yeah.
And then I see you also got Will Smith and Robin Williams. Where do you have them on your list as far as ranking?
I don't know. Will Smith, I've just seen so many movies during my childhood. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been into so many.
Yeah.
I mean, he just pulled off Aladdin, which I thought was.
Well, that was one of the better live action movies that Disney did
Yeah.
this year. I haven't seen Lion King yet. I'm waiting
And
for
there
it
was
to.
good and bad reviews about it, so I wasn't really.
I saw it. I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was
I liked
actually
it.
enjoyable.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Disney Plus to get the live action Lion King, which it's finally on. So I'm gonna try to give it a look. But no, Aladdin was really good. I mean, obviously, come on, Will Smith. You got Bad Boys 1, 2.
And he just remade.
I haven't
Bad
seen
Boys.
3.
I
I have not seen Bad Boys for Life yet. But Independence Day, I Am Legend,
Men in Black.
Men in Black 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I mean, the list goes on. I mean, the guy's been in so many movies just in the last 20 years. And obviously, you can't forget his character on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Which he held that going for so long. One of the longest running shows, I thought, too. You know?
Going off your list for once, for 1 second, Will Smith and Johnny Depp were always on my top.
Actually, Johnny Depp is actually good, too, yeah.
They were teetering 1 and 2 spot for a while. Johnny Depp really hasn't done much, and I know it's because the majority of it is because of his name was kind of tarnished with whatever allegations that were with against him and his.
He's got somewhat of a bad rap sheet. But
Yeah.
You know what?
But
Still a great actor, though.
can't take anything away from Johnny Depp. I think Johnny Depp is
No, he
definitely
played great roles.
every role he's in. It's generally usually a different role too. He doesn't always usually typecast himself where, yeah, it's usually like, you know, quirky and a weird character, but at the same time, it's never really the same.
Yeah.
Whether he plays, you know, Captain Jack Sparrow, or he played in the movie Secret Window, which was one of my favorite with him. That was a crazy movie. But Will Smith is really, really good choice.
He is, yeah.
And then I see you got Robin
Who
Williams,
was
which
also my...
I mean, just a sad story. Obviously, you know, when he took his life, it impacted a lot of people.
It did.
He
He was definitely gone too soon.
gone too soon, but just brilliant. And the roles that he was in, you know, between God,
Also, yeah, during my childhood, he made so many movies.
when he played.
Flubber was one of the... That was...
What about Patch? Did you ever see the movie
Patch,
Patch?
too.
Patch. I
Patch
mean,
put a huge impact. That was a big one.
his character. I mean, that movie.
Also with the college.
Yes, you're talking about.
It was an old school movie, though.
Oh, you're talking about Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, Good Will Hunting, but
Which
also.
crazy is he made an impact on things he was also...
Did you see
feeling.
Awakenings?
I have not seen that.
It's him and Robert De Niro. So Awakenings, Robert De Niro plays a comatose guy who's been in a coma for decades. I believe that. I'm almost pretty much it was decades, and Robin Williams, I believe, is a doctor, and they start to do testing on like a I don't think it was a patented drug at the time, and they were just trying to test it out, and it awoke these people that were in comas for years, only for a brief amount of time. I don't want to spoil the end of the movie, but Robin Williams. I mean, other than that, I mean, come on, Good Morning Vietnam. Going back to his old stuff,
Miss Doubtfire.
Mrs. Doubtfire is an iconic role. I love Robin Williams, I really do, and I miss him. And obviously, you know, speaking
I
of
think they were going to make that a Broadway play. If
yes,
I overheard.
I believe so. Speaking of Aladdin, you know, he was the original genie. You know, and it was.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It is, but honestly, so when I looked at this list, and I was trying to, as you're talking and as I'm talking, I was trying to go over a few other actors I can think of, but to be honest with you, I can't. On a whim, these are really, really good. I mean, we got 1, 2, you got 5. I was able to just add Johnny Depp to that. I really honestly on the top of my head. I really wouldn't be able to think of other ones. If I had to add another one, probably Robert Downey Jr. Just because of what he went through. You know, obviously he was popular in the early '80s, and he came on the scene, and then you know he was the bad boy, and drugs and everything else, and then he was almost blacklisted, and then they finally, you know, he had a comeback. You know, Jon Favreau and Marvel, and they gave him.
Well, he made a huge turnaround.
Yeah, huge turnaround. They gave him another chance, and you know, look what happened from there. 2008, and then he
Also,
hasn't stopped since.
Matthew McConaughey, right?
Matthew McConaughey's another one.
With Dallas, that Dallas movie.
Dallas Buyers Club.
I mean,
I never saw that. But any other Matthew McConaughey?
I mean, that was a huge impact. That movie. Like,
did you ever see Dazed and Confused?
No, I have not.
Dazed and Confused, really, really great Matthew McConaughey movie. If you want to go recent, as you know, just a few years, maybe 6 years ago, you have Interstellar, which is actually one of my favorite. I made a I put it on Instagram. I was thinking about bringing that on here, but I made a at the end of December, just before the new year, I made a top 10 list, and I went each year. I didn't just make it 10 my favorite movies of the decade. I wanted to make it even, so I wanted to just pick one good one from each year. And Interstellar actually was the top one for 2014 for me. But that's just because I also like that. That's my type of movie. You know,
he was also in a big chick flick movie, I believe, too.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Actually, really good chick flick or not, it was a good movie.
Women still talk about that movie to this day.
Yeah, but it was because it was a really good movie. Yeah. It was definitely.
So he's
really
had a great role too, and he's a great actor.
I 100% agree. So I started out. One of the things I had mentioned when I first made my video is, you know, obviously I mentioned being out of work and trying to use this as an outlet, a way to not only reach subscribers and reach followers and whatnot, and you guys listen to me, but at the same time, it's almost therapeutic to talk out loud and try to reach somebody. So
Correct, yeah.
Whether I'm impacting somebody else, at the same time, you're impacting me because I'm able to speak whatever's on my mind or in my heart, and hopefully you guys can either gain knowledge or gain something from it. And even if it's not to gain anything from it, maybe just pass the time. It doesn't, you know, either way. But one of the things that I said that I wanted to go over, you know, as opposed to just movies, because obviously I love talking about movies. My first video, which I promise I'm trying not to do this time. First video was almost an hour and a half. And, you know, because it's easy when you're engaged in conversation and, you know, you're just talking, whether it's by yourself or amongst friends, it's easy to get lost in the conversation and also go on a tangent. But one of the things that I definitely want to bring to my channel is, you know, the mental health awareness. A lot of people close to me within the last few years I know have been going through it. And then just as recent as 2 years ago, I started going through some stuff that, you know, I kept inside. And not many people, you know, most people, if they're watching, this is the first they're going to hear about it. I've been going through a lot of stuff. And, you know, I work with you. I know you were going through a lot.
Yeah. Actually,
you continue to go through it, but you've gotten better. You've gotten a lot better.
And it's a challenge every time.
It is. It really is. Now, I don't have depression, and I really can't even say, I guess you can say it's anxiety, but I was out of work again. I was out of work a couple of years ago, and I broke my foot. I had to have 2 surgeries, so I was sidelined. I was sidelined for almost a year, which is actually almost it's same thing is happening again, just a different injury. But with the surgery and not really being able to be mobile, and because it was on my foot, most of the time I was inside, and I got to the point where I didn't want to go out at all anymore, and it was called an adjustment disorder or something like that. It was just not being able to cope with that change. But anything that you want to talk about as far as, you know, everyday things and whatnot.
Myself, a little over a year ago, I went through the same exact thing right before I actually proposed to my fiance.
Right.
And I had pretty much a breakdown.
But you're doing better now. So what if somebody was or if somebody is, I should say, going through something like that,
I would say,
as I am, like
yeah.
how do you
I
how do you
mean,
manage
the
it?
way I managed it was, which actually your coworkers could sometimes be your best therapy. In
Right.
some ways, it's also very hard to open up to your coworkers, but at the job that I've been at, even knowing Joe, the 10 years now, a lot of the people I work with, I know them 10 years, and opening up to them, it did take a little bit, but then it just felt like family, and that was my medicine, because there's a lot of thoughts that can go through your mind while you're in an 8-hour shift.
Yeah.
And it could really bring you down when you get out of that shift if you didn't put it on the table at work.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I had my family and my friends who really helped me a lot too. But I'll tell you, my coworkers put a huge impact on me. And opening up someone that you work with, you shouldn't be afraid or be nervous about talking to them.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be someone you work with.
It doesn't, no.
But and we were talking about this. What was it? Yesterday or the day before?
The same people 40
you
hours a week.
Generally see people that you work with. That's what I was just going to say. You generally see people you work with more than you see somebody that you live with.
Yeah.
Which is, you spend a good 40 hours a week with them.
Yeah.
But you're basically saying what I'm saying as fact is you're using a coworker or a friend as an outlet, but just getting it out, just talking.
Oh yeah, just doing this. I mean, this is actually therapeutic for me. I mean, maybe a lot of people knew even what I went through, and I just told about it just now.
Right.
But I feel comfortable.
I feel like the more you open up about it, and whether it's with a stranger, I mean, obviously you don't want to just go up to a random stranger and say, hey, how you doing today? Oh, I'm doing fine. How are you? Well, I'm depressed, and nobody really wants to hear that.
Yeah.
But when you open up to a friend or a coworker, or if you have an outlet like this, where you just want to talk about something you're going through, it could be a breakup. It doesn't always have to be about depression and anxiety, but sometimes, and I'm going to be 42 this year, and God knows I've gone through a lot. I've always found the best remedy and the best way to get over it is to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's really good. And I applaud you for, being able to help yourself and get over what you were going through, because I know it was rough. I was there. I listened to it.
I mean, yeah, you were a really good listener, though. You were there for me. I mean, like, it wasn't just an ear and I just spoke. It was really like, reached out to me. How did you make out? Are you okay?
Yeah.
What was the outcome? It wasn't just someone listening to me. It was actually caring.
Right. And now look at you. I mean, you're engaged. You're going to get married in just under 7 months.
Yeah.
And you're the happiest I've seen you since I've known you, actually.
Since I've actually worked at the hotel.
Yeah, since I've known you. So for at least the last 10 years that I've known you, or almost 10 years, just over 9. Yeah, you...
I haven't hit any bumps.
No.
Thank God.
And I'm happy about that. I really am. I do want to go over one really quick thing. I wanted to open with this. It's so stupid. It's so random. But I was talking about this with you. So yesterday... For those of you that don't know what alternate side means, if you're not from New York, and I really don't know what other state does this, but alternate side in my neighborhood is Monday to Tuesday, and that's basically when they do street cleaning. So from 11:30 to 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I can't be on one side of the street. So I either park the car ahead of time on the right side, or I'll wake up that morning and move the car. Most times, if I can't find a good spot, I'll pay. There's a meter around the corner from me, and I'll actually pay for the hour and a half to be able to park there. So anyway, yesterday morning, I wake up, I go to move the car, and it's raining, and I go outside. And what people do now, they don't go and they don't move the car to a good spot or pay the meter. They'll double park the car illegally. So they'll double park the car onto the side that's good, but they'll box in other cars, which I've gone through so many times. I'll want to use the car to go to the store or whatever, or sometimes actually when I was driving the car for work, my car would be boxed in, and it infuriated me. I was so pissed. So yesterday, and I'm not saying I wish bad things on people. I don't. I'm not really that kind of person, but yesterday, I'm not going to lie, it brought a smile to my face because all the cars that were double parked on my block had a ticket on them. So every now and then, the traffic cop, whoever it is that goes to the neighborhood, they don't do it all the time. They'll decide to, okay, you know what, we're going to ticket the people double parked.
But the people that do double park don't realize they're inconvenienced people.
No, because if you're gonna double park your car, be at ear's length to listen to if somebody's honking like a maniac for you to let them out.
Or just put a piece of paper in the window with your phone number.
That other people do that. Now, the people that are that courteous, that's good. But at the same time, you're still doing something illegal. It's not usually enforced, but it's still illegal. It's just as illegal to double park.
Illegal, to be honest.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like it.
So I just wanted to go over that. Did have really nothing to do with me, but I did want to bring that up. The other thing is, you said you wanted to go over your top childhood games and activities that you can relive or do. So you and I are different in age. I think you're going to be 30.
We're 10 years apart.
Yeah.
Just about.
Yeah. You just turned 31.
I just turned 31.
Yeah. So we're just over 10 years apart. So my childhood activities and games might be different. I think I had a rock to play with.
I might have had a handball.
No, but yeah.
But still.
If you could relive or redo something right now that you did as a child, what would it be?
I mean, handball alone.
Handball. I actually, it's funny because the first thing that I thought of was softball or baseball, and I just feel like, I know it's not necessarily a childhood thing, but as you get older and as your friends obviously drift apart, and the reason being is, when the older you get, things happen. You get married, you have kids, different work schedules, different neighborhoods. I mean, I don't live in the same neighborhood I grew up in. Unfortunately. So I've always said, I've wanted to do it just for my birthday, as a birthday gift. Hey guys, let's get together. Let's play softball. Because growing up, that's all me and my friends used to do. We used to play street ball. Yeah. We played 4-corner diamond baseball. So each corner on the street, it was dangerous because we're running in the street without really knowing if a car was coming.
Dodgeball in the street too.
Dodgeball, any sport you could think of, me and my friends did in the street.
Now you're lucky if you see kids playing in the street at all. You barely.
Well, because they're busy on their phone or they're busy inside playing.
It's usually just phones or inside or video games. Yeah.
Video games.
And it's changed a lot.
But that's the culture now, and that's what I've grown to do when I'm home. Is I pass the time. I either watch YouTube or I go on my Xbox. I had PS4 that I just sold because I was just too immersed in it, and it's true. It takes away your socialness. It takes away and that's another It's another hindering aspect that I was looking at and saying, I'm playing far too many video games, especially for my age, and
sometimes just being on the phone too, though.
Being on the phone is
it's bad.
I'm a victim of it. I do it sometimes without even noticing.
Oh yeah, I can admit it. Yeah.
But when I do notice it, it does bother me. I know when I'm either at a family member's house or dinner. If I'm at dinner or if I'm just visiting or hanging out with a friend, and it's like when that phone gets pulled out. And I'm not saying it's just them doing it. I'm over there doing it too. And it's just, is that what we have become? And it really is true.
It seems like it now. It has. You go to a restaurant and one or the other is on their phone. Yeah. And you see videos now of couples destroying couples now. One person's on their phone. This is what life is now. And it
really is.
Changed.
It is. It has, and it's a shame.
We didn't have phones back then like we did. You were lucky if you flipped open your phone once or twice.
No, obviously, if you didn't have a phone, I definitely didn't have a phone.
Yeah, I didn't.
But and the other funny thing is, I can just say something as simple as just sitting on. I lived across the street from a school, from a church, and a school, but the church and the rectory was literally across the street from my house. So me and my friends, we would spend hours just at night, just sitting on the rectory steps, the stoop, because my house didn't have a stoop, and we would just hang out and talk, and for hours, laugh, joke, and. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, no, I remember when I was a young kid. No, I'm not going to say that all technology is bad. Not all. Look what we're doing right now. I'm trying to reach, right now I got 17 subscribers, I think. So I'm trying to reach 17 people. No, obviously whoever watches this, but, technology
sending a message.
Is good.
Yeah.
There are certain aspects of technology. Whatever's going on in the medical field, the technology that's going on there. It's just not all technology is bad, but when people
a lot of technology is saving lives too, though. So it's not like.
But when you're relying on it, when it becomes an addiction, that is a problem.
It destroys your connection. And memories.
I can't even drive anywhere now without a GPS. I was never like that. I've been driving for 20 something years.
I used to go on MapQuest and print out the directions.
Yeah, well, I used to do that too.
Yeah. That was what we had to do. and hope that we made didn't miss a sign.
What are we at in time? Oh, only 25 minutes. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Good. Another 20 minutes. I'm going to try to keep this at 45 minutes.
People watching this can also say it's not like, we're saying we depend on this, but it's sending a message, maybe someone at home that watches and says, you know what? Damn, let me take 20 minutes out of my time now and just not even look at my phone.
Yeah, just I think it just needs to be, people need to be a little bit more conscious about it. And I think it's so much of it's funny, not to get off the subject, but it's actually has something to do with it a little bit. I deleted an app on my phone, and what it did is it just kind of jumbled and reconfigured the apps that are on my phone. So I'll, without even thinking, go one place on the phone where Instagram or whatever would be where I would normally press, and because it's not there anymore, I'm hitting the wrong one. But it's just everything is so subconscious now. And you're not even thinking about
Repetitive.
it. And I got rid of Facebook for that reason too, is because I was literally just constantly going on Facebook. And Facebook now, all it is about either politics or just, and I'm glad I never joined Twitter because I heard Twitter's even worse, but it's just nothing but negativity. And I need it. It's not that I used it because I like the fact that if I wanted to see friends that I went to, I graduated 8th grade with, or friends that I was in the that I don't really see, that I grew up in the neighborhood with, or even family that I don't get to see all the time. Facebook in that regard was good, but
reconnecting. Yeah,
but nobody connects anymore. Facebook is not about, nobody really writes on anybody's wall anymore, at least not on my wall.
It's just basically posting what they're doing in that moment.
What they're doing in the moment. Pictures of food, pictures of babies, pictures of dogs. I do it too. And it's not about a connection anymore. Instagram almost is the same exact thing. Instagram, and I don't even search for it. It's just things at my feed are all like these girls dancing and stuff like that, and it's just like, what? I don't know what that is.
A lot of times, also when you talk to someone, they actually already knew what you did, so there's no conversation when you get on the phone with that person.
There really isn't. There really isn't.
I watch documentaries about now and people saying that how much time it really takes to really put that picture online and take a video of what's going on. It takes almost a half hour.
Yeah.
Out of that moment, you're with your family. And I've noticed it more, and I keep actually trying to prevent it from happening.
I try to be a little bit more conscious about it. But it really does take away the communication. It really does. Just pick up a phone and call somebody or make plans. And I'm not saying people don't do that. Obviously, as I said, it's harder.
Decreased.
It's harder
more
for
of
me
a text than a phone
because
call
it's circumstantial. There are circumstances that can change. As I said, friends grow apart or friends have different schedules, but there needs to be a set time. Because I was telling you about that the other day. You really do need to hang out and associate with people that you've grown with, because it's. I'm not saying that they define who you are, but they are a big part of who you were.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it should deter anybody from growing and becoming a different person. And I'm not saying anybody should remain to be the 13-year-old they were when they were 13. I'm just saying that sometimes you do lose your identity. And whether your identity is identifiable as when you were younger, or if you did change, then that's obviously good for you. But sometimes it's good to either hang out with people that you've grown up with, but people that are close to you. And I'm not also saying, obviously, that you shouldn't make new friends, because everybody should. Yeah.
Like, look, we became friends and we only worked together. That's,
right.
It happens.
But right.
I try to keep my friends together as much as possible,
And the other thing I don't understand with, too, are the ghost followers. I have people that request me that I actually know. And I've actually several times, whether I'm good friends with you or people that I've known and we just don't really talk that well, or I'm sorry, that much, but the people that follow me, or whether it was either Facebook or Instagram, and there's no interaction whatsoever.
No either.
No likes, and I'm not saying I'm not saying everybody has to like every post I do.
No, but we talked about this.
Yeah,
actually.
But it's just like, what are you following people for? And I'm not the only one that goes through it. Everybody has ghost followers. Yeah. And I'm not talking about spam accounts either. I'm talking about people that I grew up with. I unfollowed a girl, I'm not going to name who, that I've known for a very long time, only because, I went through something very traumatic. a little over a year ago. Me and my girlfriend, we lost our 3-year-old dog, and it's something that still, haunts me. It's something that I'm still going through, and I know she's going through it as well. And I didn't even get so much as I'm sorry, or hey, how you doing, or whatever. And this is a person that has dogs and loves dogs. So I'm like, you know what?
And probably didn't know.
Yeah, you know what? Done. I'm done. So, but do you have any ghost followers?
I don't think I do. I mean, I always go through and delete someone if I haven't spoken to them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I don't have a
it's
problem
good.
even saying
It's good
it.
to filter it out. Every now and then I go and I'm not saying I don't want it because I don't want to talk to you, but if I, let's say, and I keep it minimum, my Instagram account, I think I'm following a little over 100 people, and I think I only have just like 119 followers. If I put out a post, whether it's of my dog, which generally is about my dogs, or a vacation I took, or whatever, anything I'm doing,
Yeah.
it's something that I posted, and I get 30 at 119 followers, and I'm like 30 people like it. Like, what is that about? So it's just, I don't know. It's weird. It just really is. I know pretty much everything that you put down. We kind of talked about.
Yeah, we did.
But anything else that's on your mind that you would like to bring or talk about? I know right after I was done with my first with the first broadcast, and I put it out there, and you watched it, and you're like, "Oh, dude, it was so good," and then you just started spitting out other things, and you're like, "Oh, you should have talked about this, you should have talked about that." I don't want that to happen with this one.
Absolutely, yeah.
So anything that you can think about, top of your head, that maybe we're not talking about, it could be about anything, honestly. And the show is always going to be about just anything. It doesn't always have to be about just one topic.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about several different things, and just in this one alone. And we're keeping it at a minimum. We're only at 31 minutes, which is good. So like another
Good timing.
Yeah. So anything else you want to talk about? Could be something about, you excited about the wedding.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
I mean, he showed me the honeymoon. Oh God.
I can't wait.
Got me and got my girlfriend jealous too.
But no, yeah. I mean, I can't wait to get married.
Right.
I'm basically starting the next chapter of my life.
Yeah.
And that too. That's also put a huge. It makes you want to change your life before that chapter even starts. To be honest, and it's actually just reconnecting also with people again.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to try to get together with as many people that are going to be at my wedding that day, because sometimes I really say to myself, I'm like, damn, I really haven't seen that person. Even us getting together more. I told you I want to do that a lot this year.
Which is weird because my schedule's been wide open.
Yeah.
I mean, generally wide open. I mean, it's between doctors and lawyers, that's pretty much it. Other than that, what else am I doing?
Yeah, so I wanted to reconnect with people, go outside of work, and hang out with people I work with, or even some of the friends that are coming to my wedding, see them. So I'm on a mission, and I'm trying to make that happen and stay away from social media as much as I can.
Right.
So yeah, I pretty much throw that out there,
I mean, that's one thing I've always noticed, especially as I got older, is just I feel like that's when you tend to see people more. Is it whether you're going to an event or a function? It's and sometimes it's sad.
Seeing people at either
a wedding or a funeral.
Wake. Yeah,
I know, and it's sad.
And it's sad because
it shouldn't be that way.
I think it's even more now.
Yeah.
In the past 10 years, I'd say it's even happening even more.
Yeah. I mean, I've contacted my childhood friends, and I did hang out with them not too long ago, pretty recent actually, like a month or two ago. And I'm trying also to go out more. I know, and that's the problem with me and I'm not saying generally with you, but let's say I'll make plans with so-and-so, and that day will come, and I'll just try to think of any excuse to get out of it. Not because it's against them. It's just that's what I'm going through. Sometimes it's a battle to want to leave the house. I'll make it up an excuse where, I don't want to leave the dogs home alone, or, or I don't feel good or whatever. It's, it's probably something that I shouldn't do. I'm not doing it.
Overcome eventually, you will.
Yeah, I'm not doing it on purpose. It's just something that, and I'm not saying, hey, anybody watching this, if ever I said, oh, I'm not feeling well, and I didn't come to something, it's not generally, I'm not saying that it was always the case where that was an excuse, there are times, especially recently, where I was supposed to go somewhere and I was not feeling well. So let's just clarify that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
But you're admitting to it, and not saying there's more to
no,
the story than just
I mean,
that.
I don't want to make excuses. I really don't. I really don't. But at the same
And nobody's
time,
perfect, you know what I mean?
it's hard. It is really hard. And you would think that somebody with an open schedule as mine, I went out. I tried talking about it a little bit on my the first episode that I did. About a month ago, I think I went out and I said, you know what? I ordered this on Amazon. I ordered the camera on Amazon. Very unaffordable. I mean, very affordable for. I meant to say very inexpensive. Very inexpensive. That fit my budget because my budget is very tight. And I said, you know what? I'm home. I'm not really doing anything. I'm watching YouTube a lot. I like the content that they put out. They're talking about movies. They're talking about trailers. They're talking about, things that just go on in their everyday life. Why don't I do it? I can do it. I'm personable. I got a voice. So, but I sat on it. I sat on it because I was like, well, I don't have the best equipment, or I don't have the best software, or, maybe it's not going to come out as good, or, am I going to sound unintelligent? Am I going to look silly? Am I going to look funny? Am I going to look stupid? I don't know what I'm doing. All these excuses going on in my head, and that's all they were doing. That's all they were just excuses. And, my friend James came over this weekend, and he's like, oh, no, man, I'm coming over. We're going to do it. And he pushed me too. And it was obviously, it was a lot more, it was a comfort zone. It was a comfort thing. It was something that, that we basically did together. Now, we didn't hold hands, but it was just easy. To me, it's something new. I'm going to have to get over that hump eventually, just talking to a camera, which, it's tough for me because I'm trying to envision talking to somebody, but
some people do this every day.
Yeah, with you here, it's easy because I'm engaged in conversation.
They're talking to people at home, and they don't even see those people at home.
Exactly.
So you know what? Sometimes just doing this alone is pretty cool. We don't wake up every morning and do it like someone's job.
Yeah,
so.
And that's exactly what some people do every day. They'll go out, whether they're covering the Oscars or they just went to watch a premiere, and they talk about their review, and it's something that I would love to do at one point once I get better.
I think you and James killed it, though. You guys did a really good job.
I think for a first video, it was good.
And you guys have a huge history together, and I think you guys did a good job and caught my eye. I immediately commented when I saw that post.
Yeah, no, I mean, there was other things. I know a lot of people a lot of people gave some feedback. I know I had the camera a little off center. That was actually done purposely because I'm a very vain person. So I know that this is my good side. I'm not saying I'm not good to look at, but this is my better side. So I had tried to have the camera angled that way. And, if it's better this way, then so be it. And the other thing I'm working on, I know another feedback was the mic. I'm trying to talk as loud as possible.
Which we were playing around.
It's a USB mic. And I know there's a way to plug in two USB mics into the same computer. But it's not recommended, and it could be tricky. You have to have the right software. So I'm for my budget, this is what I can do right now. And I'm not always going to have a guest host anyway. The majority of the time, ideally, it's going to be just me. So one mic is really going to suffice. But I think it does the job. It's not like it's a big. We're not outside. It's not a big room, so I think the acoustics and the sound is okay for what it is. It will get better. My goal here is, to learn as I go, better editing. I'll try to get, obviously, at one point graphics, maybe like an opening intro. That'll come. It's just, this is only my second recording.
Yeah.
And I hope to get more knowledge. I hope to get better. I look on YouTube all the time.
Topics.
Better topics. Yeah,
more
better topics. I mean, this was really
great topics.
This was good topics, but at the same time, it was more of a hangout.
Yeah,
and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed you coming over here. We had a good pizza pie before we came on here. You bought a nice bottle of wine. I enjoyed it. I really did.
It was a good time.
And I look forward to more with you. You don't live
Yeah, I
too
hope. Yeah,
you
that
don't
would
live
be
too
great.
far away, dude. I mean, look, my door's open. You know,
I mean, since we worked together, I used to live in Long Island, so
Yeah.
we actually this was like a
Yeah.
12-minute drive. I'm like,
yeah. No,
it changed a lot.
this was perfect. You are in the neighborhood. As you did say, you did used to live in Long Island. So now that you're here now, there really is no excuse that. Well, you work a ton though. I mean, that's your excuse.
Yeah, I do.
You do work a lot.
I do.
You work several jobs. So and I can't even manage one, but
You will.
I will.
You're
I'm
getting
not.
better.
I have a job. Let's
Put that on
full
the table.
disclosure. I do have a job. It's just I'm
You're
out
just
of
getting
work
better.
with the temporary disability. So I will be hopefully back within a month or so, God willing. But I do want to. Let me see. Yeah, it's about 40 minutes. I do want to wrap up within the next few minutes. Anything else that you would like to discuss? Anything on the table that maybe
I think I got
we
my
didn't touch up on?
topics. I mean, I think are great pointers to talk
I wanted to
about.
go over the Oscars. Now, I will admit, and I'm not
I mean,
ashamed.
yeah, we could talk about that.
I'm not ashamed to say it. We only have a few minutes. I don't have cable. I got rid of cable because it was overpriced or whatever. I got rid of it a while ago. Not because I can't afford it.
But I don't think you're the only one.
Yeah, a lot of
That's-
people did.
a
I
lot of
ditched
people.
it, but I went with Hulu. I was paying. It was like $49.99 or something like that for Hulu Live without ads, and they just raised their prices to $60 a month. And I know that's not a lot, but when you couple that with Disney
Phone
Plus, Netflix, and all the other expenses, and I am also paying for a few other subscriptions. It's just like I had to sacrifice one of them. I am out of work, working just getting 2 paychecks from workers' compensation, so it's not that much. So I unfortunately couldn't watch the Oscars. Not that I didn't want to, I couldn't. I did go over, and obviously I did look up the winners and whatnot, and you did watch it, right?
I did.
So
I
what
mean,
was
I
your
caught most of it?
What
I
was your
really
biggest
did.
surprise at the Oscars?
I mean, the Brad Pitt.
You didn't think Brad Pitt was, you did say that. Now, who did you think was going to win Best
I mean,
Supporting
just
Actor?
the movie though. Just Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It wasn't my favorite movie.
See, now I actually loved Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
See, yeah, a lot of
saw
people
it.
did like it, and a lot of people did.
I watched it in the movie theater. I actually went with James, and then I bought it when it came out on digital a couple of months back. And then when my girlfriend came home because she was visiting family in Nebraska, she had come home, and I was like, and I waited to watch it again, and I rewatched it. And as long as a movie as it is, it wasn't boring watching it a second time at all. I was completely immersed in it, and it was just entertaining. It really was. And I also got to admit, I'm not really a huge Quentin Tarantino fan. I enjoyed Pulp Fiction, and I
One of the
enjoyed,
popular movies too. Yeah.
but yeah, I don't remember. I know I saw Kill Bill 1. I don't remember if I saw the sequel or not, but I do want to watch it because I know the
I'm sure there's a lot of things that went up to him winning though too. For his
I
history.
thought Brad Pitt put what you felt about the movie aside. I thought Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio made this movie, and
No, they both had to play tough roles.
It's a shame that Leo didn't win Best Actor. I understand why. You take Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal of Joker and his performance. I didn't. Nobody was going to win. Nobody else was going to win.
Yeah, I didn't think Leonardo had a shot at that.
No, there was just
His character didn't change either much from other movies he was in too. Leonardo.
Yeah.
Those big movies he did.
Yeah, but I really did. I really loved the one. So you saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, right? That one scene where he's
Driving.
No. When they're doing the film, and he's messing up, and he goes into the trailer, and he's just cursing at himself for
flips
messing
out,
up. That one scene, I mean, there was a bunch of scenes that made me laugh, but that scene was hysterical. And then when he came back and he nailed his performance, and the little girl's like, "That was the best acting I've ever seen," and he just starts tearing up a little bit, dude. That's probably one of my
It
favorite.
was
And
a
then
good scene. I guess it wasn't. I don't know. I guess it just didn't fit into my movie.
And then the ending surprises everybody because the ending, as you know, obviously, Sharon Tate dies. She actually gets killed in real life. Sharon Tate.
Yeah.
and they changed obviously the ending of this movie and history, and they had it where she survived, and you got Brad Pitt killing these guys, the Manson's followers off.
Yeah.
And it's just the way he was doing it. I just thought it was hysterical. I really did, and it caught me by surprise. The whole movie caught me by surprise. It was. I will say this.
I don't think anybody expected that movie to. Right?
It was slowly paced. At one point, it felt a little long, but especially towards the end. The end did it for me. It definitely did.
I mean, I'm glad the Joker though. I'm glad that.
Now I saw most of the movies nominated. The only one I did not see. Now I didn't.
Still haven't seen Parasite.
I have not gotten to see 1917, and I did not see Parasite.
Yeah, which we talked about. Yeah,
and we did talk about this, and I don't want to go too much of this because then the show will go a little longer than I wanted to. But I will say that the reason why, and I can rent it now. Parasite's available to rent. I don't mind paying the $6, but I just wish there was a way that the viewer can choose. And I'm not taking anything away from the director. I'm not taking anything away from the movie. I just wish there was a way the viewer can choose whether they want the subtitles or the dubbed. I would prefer to watch the movie dubbed in English. I've tried to watch subtitled movies before, and there's nothing against foreign films.
But there is a lot to read.
I just feel like the majority of the time, because the subtext is at the bottom, the subtitles are at the bottom of the screen. So you're reading the dialogue, and then the picture and the film and the action is going on above your head. And I mean, above your eye level, and it's just taking away from the film. At least it's in my opinion. Now, there was a series that me and Menser, I told you about.
That you guys watched.
On Netflix. I believe it's a German film, a show. I can't remember.
That was like a year or two ago, right?
Yeah, but they're on this. They just finished the second season.
That as well too.
It's called Dark, and Dark gives you the option. It's dubbed in English, or you can read it in the subtitles.
Maybe they'll make Parasite dub.
I don't know. They're talking about possibly remaking it for English, an English version, like the Grudge movies and The Ring, where because those were Japanese, and I think they were Japanese.
I mean, it's now a must see. If
they were Korean, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it is Korean.
No. Parasite's Korean. I'm talking about The Ring and
Oh, okay, yeah, but no, definitely
Grudge.
the subtitle. Yeah, the language is Korean though. Yeah, I mean, I want to see it.
I do too. I mean, it won Best Picture, so it's definitely got my sparked up my interest a little bit more. But in 1917, which was the one that was favorite, that was actually favorite. That was predicted to win the big one, and I really wanted to see that movie. That movie looks really, really good, and I know Sam Mendes. I think he won the Golden Globe for the Best Director. So wait, is it Sam Mendes, or is Sam Mendes a?
See, there was a couple of parts I missed, so I don't know.
Sam Mendes, the singer. Or was that Shawn Mendes? You know what? It doesn't matter. I don't really care. But did you see Marriage Story?
No, I have not.
Marriage Story is on Netflix. That's with Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson.
Which I have to see too.
That's
There's
actually,
so many shows on Netflix now. It's like
Marriage Story is really
series,
Marriage Story is really good, and I can see why Adam Driver and ScarJo were nominated for their roles.
I was surprised Eminem performed.
That was a good performance. So I had to watch it on YouTube, it was really good. It was 18 years too late, but still a really, really good performance.
I mean, I still think he should have performed. But he didn't want to. So.
He didn't want to do. I read up on it. He didn't want to do
the cursing and
he didn't
like
want to
that.
do an edited version at the time. It was 20 years ago.
Which he did make a good point, though. There was so many movies about killing and violence. Why did he have to change his? But that's their business. It was good to hear that song.
Last but not least, The Irishman. What did you think about The Irishman?
I loved it.
You did.
I don't have a bad,
So I watched it a second time. I watched it because my girlfriend she didn't watch it. I watched it back in November.
Watched it by myself.
I watched it the night before Thanksgiving by myself. And then I watched it just recently with her. And I got to say, for a 3.5 hour movie, I thought I was going to be bored the second time. I wasn't. My issue with it is I just feel like, and he was actually asked this, Martin Scorsese was asked, why didn't you get younger actors to portray the roles of the younger De Niro, Pesci, and Pacino? And he said, well, they wouldn't have had I think he said they wouldn't have had the chemistry or
the profile.
It would have been off. My issue with the not besides its length, just I think it could have did without the last hour. I think
when they got old and stuff, it really dragged out.
No, I mean, it was all over the place anyway with the timeline. It was really not really structured where, it was, when it was younger and then it was older.
Yeah.
It was all over the place. But I think if they would have trimmed it an hour, it would have been good. And then my other issue was, even though the characters were de-aged, especially Robert De Niro, it shows more in De Niro's character than any of them. Even though the characters were de-aged, the one scene where De Niro, it's like almost the beginning of the film, where he goes to beat up the butcher for pushing his daughter. And he's doing this weird thing with his arm, and I'm not the only one that says this. I actually, as soon as I thought of it right away. I'm like, what's going on with his arm? And then that's actually really that was commented a lot on YouTube and other articles I read, and it's because it's 70-something-year-old, I think almost 80-year-old actor, trying to do a younger man's role, and it's just a shame because I grew up on The Godfather. I love The Godfather. I talked about that briefly in my first episode. You got movies like The Godfather. You got movies like Goodfellas. It's these. I just feel like
Robert De Niro alone, you cannot reenact his movies.
No, but if you were to take a movie like The Irishman and released it back in the Goodfella days when they were that age, it just, to me, would have been more enjoyable than take actors that are out of their prime.
Yeah.
Still good actors, don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away from any of these actors in the movie. But
it might not have dragged as much either, though.
No, but it's just...
If they were younger,
because Goodfellas was long, but it wasn't almost 4 hours long. But I feel like there were certain movies that I wanted more anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered if it was just a little bit longer. But my main gripe wasn't the length of the movie. It was really generally just the fact that knowing how old they are, and it's just it's a shame because they're doing these things, and you got De Niro going like this with his right arm when he's kicking. It's just whatever. So that's my take on that. Yeah. But
it was
anyway,
a great movie.
I can't think of anything else. I did want to keep this at a minimal. I'm going to try to do a lot more of these. I want to do, whether it's just a solo videos of me doing reaction pieces to maybe a trailer just came out. I know just the other day, was it yesterday? I think they released the new trailer for The Invisible Man. So I'm not saying that specifically. I'm just saying, so in general, if a trailer comes out, whether it's Marvel, something on Disney Plus or anything that I want to talk about, that I'm passionate about, I want to come on, maybe do a reactionary piece. But I hope to do more of these. I really do. I really hope, whether it's you or you get other people on here. But also, first and foremost, build a followership. Get people to subscribe. Hit the like button. Just, hopefully you like what you see. And stick around because, there's more to come, and stay tuned. And that's it. Anything else you want to say?
It was a great experience. I'm glad I was able to experience it.
Well, thank you for the wine. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for the food.
Oh, no, anytime, bro. I appreciate it. Really, thank you for coming
bro.
on.
Thank
and guys,
so
I will see you again.
Thank
Hopefully, this one was a little bit better. Hopefully, the sound is a little bit better. As I said, as I go on, I will try to improve on not only the content but the equipment, and that's it. So thank you, and have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.
Hope you liked everything.